Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of Fox Reacts. Today we're checking out another vid from Popcross Studios about what if vehicles were mech armors. So we're probably gonna see this from the point of view of our good mecha maniac friend and Benny Sharp.
I don't totally remember who it was, but someone in the comments recently pointed out that this month's Popcross Community redraw theme of turning vehicles into mech armors is basically just Transformers, and that's a pretty good point.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not exactly the same. I'm not taking the vehicles that subscribers submitted and redesigning them into robots that can transform back into those vehicles. I'm taking the vehicles and redesigning them into mech suits for the pilots that were also submitted by people, but, you know, it's kind of semantics. Visually speaking, it's going to be very similar to turning those vehicles into Transformers.
Yeah,
also, to try and one-up last month's Community Redraw episode where I took your fantasy monsters and redesigned them into suits of armor and had that episode narrated by 2 of my own original characters, this episode is going to be narrated by 3 of my own original characters. Good old Benny Sharp.
I knew it!
Vasilia Kuznets. And Dr. Champagne McGregor. Might get a little chaotic with all 3 of them, but let's see what happens. Oh, and as usual, I'm showing off all the other stuff that was submitted as well. Yeah, but let's go.
Let's go.
Hit like if you want. Subscribe if you feel like.
I think this is
but either way,
good.
Enjoy the show.
Hey, Champ, come here. I want to introduce you to someone.
What in the flip is you doing in my apartment? How did you get in here?
I got my ways. Don't worry about it.
I will worry about it. Because there are people out there that want to kill me ever since I so-called betrayed Dr. Universe. So if a clown like you can get in, I'm worried they could too.
Yeah, alright.
I'll admit, it was strange we came right into your home without asking. It's not what I would have done myself. But now that we're here, I must say, you seem like somewhat high-strung man. Maybe could use relaxing presence, such as Benjamin here.
Rusty and Sean.
Relaxing? I don't think anyone has ever called Benjamin? Since when do you let anyone call you anything other than Benny?
I let you call me clown, don't I? But that's because I know you love me.
I don't.
Besides, it sounds weird when Silly here calls me Benny. Say it, Vasilia. Benny Sharp. It sounds just wrong, right? But Benjamin, it works a lot better in her accent. Rolls off the tongue a bit better. Benjamin. See? So I'm making an exception.
Alright.
But anyway, was gonna tell Silly here about some of the mech armors I done built, and figured you might want to hear about more of them too. What do you say?
I was just...
This is kind of cool.
Whatever. Admittedly, I am a little bit curious what happened with the whole Freddy Mech Bear situation.
I remember that.
Alright, let's hear it.
No, I'll get back to that story later. I'm gonna tell you about some of the different ones I made, unrelated to that.
Cool.
What? Why? You ain't finished that bleating story yet. Just tell me that one.
Yeah, but I don't want to have to get Silly here caught up on all that. We might as well just start fresh, something you both haven't heard. Like with that steampunk cowboy horse armor I done made for this guy Sean once. He needed a suit to go hunt down a bunch of Wendigos. Wendigos?
Awesome.
You have Wendigos here too? Are they same as Wendigos from my universe? You know, big, white, furry monsters with horns. They haunt Canadian wilderness, this kind of thing?
No, that sounds more like a Yeti.
Well, first of all, I mean, right now we're in Shamp's dimension, not mine. So I don't know if they got Wendigos here. But in my dimension, we got myths about the kind of Wendigos you're talking about. But the kind of Wendigos that this guy was hunting down was actually just people with some kind of weird zombie virus. And who knows, maybe that got that virus from another dimension too.
Could have.
Multiverse stuff is so confusing and stupid.
Yes,
I don't know about calling stupid, but I do admit, can be a bit confusing.
Definitely.
Maybe focus on armor, Benjamin. What is this steampunk you speak of? Ah, right, it's sort of like an aesthetic for people that dig old-timey steam engine sort of designs, which you might not know what that is either, but basically he wanted the thing to look a bit more clunky and kind of rusted looking, and as I said, he also wanted it to look a bit like a horse too, that sort of vibe, you know, with the funky legs and whatnot.
Nice.
And he wanted it to shoot fire too. I think that was supposed to be good again.
I wonder if the mech is meant to be also really, really stupid fast.
Hunting down Wendigos or something.
Okay,
I mean,
so you're saying
this
this guy wanted
a
a flame-shooting, steampunk humanoid horse suit to hunt Wendigos that ain't really Wendigos, and you just went along with that, no questions asked.
Well, I asked him how much money he had, and was client pleased with suit? What did it look like? You have image to show? Oh yeah, sorry. Of course he was happy with it, but here, take a look at this.
And here we are. steampunk horse. Love it. It's gotta be stupid fast.
That is very nice armor, Benjamin. You say you build these with technology, not magic?
Magic? You got magic in your dimension? Ah, yeah, Vasilia here's from a fantasy sort of universe, you know, with like dragons and stuff. Wow. Of course, but they got dungeons in her universe too?
Cool.
I mean, probably, but the
Amazing
Dungeons and
guys.
Dragons universe is actually a different universe from hers.
Oh, jeez, multiverse nonsense.
But anyway, since we're
multiverse,
talking about
don't
other
question
dimensions
it.
again, I could tell you about a suit that I threw together while I was jumping around the multiverse a few months ago.
Cool.
In a sort of sci-fi universe where people got spaceships and stuff, I
Okay.
came across this gal named Hillary Pennywise.
Pennywise, really? This gal wasn't the
Hillary
daughter of
Pennywise.
some evil space clown that can turn into spiders, was
Here we
she?
go.
I mean, not as far as I know. Certainly didn't come up in conversation, and I'm pretty sure I would have remembered that. What
Nice.
a strangely specific question this is, Mr. Shamp. You know, there is dragon in my universe that
look.
resembles Clown Spider.
Oh, I'll bet there is.
No kidding, you made an armor out of that thing? Of course I have, but we are not here to talk about my armors.
Aw.
Please, Benjamin, go on. Right. So this gal was a real rags to
Amazing
riches sort of
stuff.
story. She started with nothing on this lowly sort of planet begging for money, then worked her way up to being loaded and taken down into galactic crime lords in this sweet looking
Awesome.
spaceship. She'd even killed this crazy space dragon and mounted the thing's head on a ship.
Of course, there's a
Incredible.
space dragon in this story.
Incredible.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Anyway, the ship got pretty beaten up by some cheeky goon with a photon laser,
But
and
now I gotta ask, how is the skull staying on? I mean, you could probably have riveted on, but that would damage the skull. Maybe even making it to where it would eventually break. Whatever. She found a way.
she couldn't really fly it no more. That's around the time that I met her. We got to talking, and I mentioned I could probably retool the thing into a mech armor for
You
her,
wanna keep it?
and
How
she
about
was
I
all
mech
for
it?
that. Paid me in some weird space credit sort of things that I don't know if I can use them here, but it was still worth it. Ah, you turned space vessel into armor. It's like how I turned monster into armor.
And it's like how you're both turning my brain into mush.
It was a quick and easy build because her ship was already
Oh,
pretty
sorry,
advanced. She did have one weird request though. She wanted a stomach visible through the suit.
Wait,
I says
what?
to her, "Why do you want that? Mech armors are usually pretty, full body covering." But she says
yeah.
she's a real big fan of midriff tops and says she's got a real nice
All
stomach and she wants to show it off.
Well, that just sounds plain
Yeah,
arrogant
alright,
to
whatever.
me.
Oh, please, it's totally understandable. I have clients ask me all the time to keep exposed legs, stomach, hair, arms,
Why,
or
though?
whatever they're proud of. Besides, arrogant is
mean-
simply term insecure people use to try and bring down confident people
You know,
to make
whatever.
themselves feel better about lacking
If you want to show your
self-worth.
stomach, show it
Well,
off.
well, that
I
just
personally
sounds like
won't.
something a real arrogant person would say.
Perhaps, or maybe you just lack self-confidence, which would be strange as Benjamin has told me you are a genius who can literally create living dinosaurs on a whim, despite
Oh,
having no
wait,
powers
what?
or magic. This is incredibly impressive. Maybe you could use a bit more arrogance yourself.
Huh. Neat.
What are you complimenting me for? I thought we was arguing here.
I am being pleasantly disarming. His method I use to help make sales to
You can
even
argue with
gruffest
someone,
and
but you can always
surliest
compliment
clientele,
them as well.
but also works quite
do
well
both.
on making people like you more. Is it working?
To be honest, yeah, a little bit.
Cool.
In fact, if I was into ladies, I'd probably be stumbling all over myself about now trying to hit on yous, but failing miserably because I ain't good at that sort of thing.
Oh, Benny.
Further evidence, you could use boost in confidence. You are a very good looking man.
Hmm.
Could use clothes without stains, maybe even nice armor,
Hmm.
but could easily get woman as good looking as myself. If
Cool.
was what you desired, of course.
Oh,
If woman is what you desire.
it's not, but that, well, thanks. What were you saying about the mech armor, Benny? Can you get back to that?
Oh, right.
Geez, silly, you gotta teach me how to get him all nervous like that. I almost got jealous over here.
Would you just get on with it?
Alright, I
about
built
the
her the
oval,
suit, she
please.
dug the look, and here it is.
And boom. Now that's spacecraft armor. Personally, I like it. Oh, we got an ad coming up. Hold on, folks. We're back.
You make armors for people with surprisingly similar missions to myself, Benjamin.
Oh.
Woman who fights dragons, man who hunts wendigos. I find quite interesting.
Alright, well, what's next?
Well, Vasilia, have you
Oh, well. Looks like it's got to load for a little bit. This is a very strange image. Whoever did that art, I am just gonna say it's nice and move on. Hold on, I'm gonna pause, be right back, see y'all in a moment. Alright, I'm back, that should be enough loading, let's continue on.
Made armors for a bunch of kids who was trying to take down a serial killer? Because he is. Really? Those sound like very impressive children.
They are.
No, you wasn't supposed
And
to
the
be
mechs are even
impressed
cool
by
as
that.
well.
It's irresponsible of him. They're just kids. He should have gotten someone else
Oh,
to
here we
handle
go.
that.
A penguin
Yeah,
neck.
maybe, but I mean, I hunted and slayed dragons when I was small child. Even fought a weird jaguar to the death when I was 5. There were consequences of this, but I was still successful. Anyway, Benjamin, what are some other people you have made armors for? Maybe
Alright,
someone unlike any I would have built for myself. Well, there was this one gal, Shima, who wanted an armor to help her fight global warming.
The
A
snow
global
wind.
warming? Is this a bad thing? I personally like winter, but most people I know complain about it, so would think people wanted globe to be warm. I mean, I'm all for warmer weather
is
too,
cool.
but was turning out to be a problem in my world. Icebergs melting and killing polar bears or something. I don't know, I don't really watch the news
Ooh.
much, unless my armors are popping up on them.
Yeah,
But anyway, this
nice.
gal brought me specs for this cryo beam thing she wanted to get built, but couldn't get any funding for it. She said if I built it into a suit, she could literally wear the thing and take it up into the atmosphere and cool things down to help
Awesome.
protect the planet from getting too hot. She even
Very
showed me specs
intelligent.
for how the suit could be solar powered and all this crazy stuff. Sounds like she could have
Nice.
just built this thing herself. What'd she need you for? I mean, drawing blueprints and being able to build them into something are pretty different things. Plus, as I said, she didn't have the money for it. She was
Yeah,
trying to get some
that's the one
government
thing.
grants or something, but wasn't getting anywhere with that. Ah, so because was for a good cause, you built her for free? Very
Huh?
honorable of you, Benjamin. Yeah, I don't buy that for a second. Not from a guy who once tried
Did
to
you
drown
actually
a
build it
gopher.
for free, Benny?
I thought you twice tried to drown gopher. Hey, you can all keep hopping on about that gopher, but trust me, if you knew him like I did, you'd be glad I twice tried to drown him, then shot him into another dimension.
Wait, what's the
What?
whole thing
You
about the
did
gopher?
what? Never mind. Anyway, I didn't quite do the suit pro bono. She gave me all the money she had and I rented her the suit. We made it all
Rented?
cute and stuff to make sure she got some good public attention for wearing it and doing her good deeds trying to fix the planet and whatnot. Made
Love
it look like a penguin. Because I
Really
think they
cute.
was dying too from global warming or something, and she said she really liked penguins, and the public would respond to that.
This is
so
really
once we
cute.
got it done and she started using it and proving to people that it worked, she got some proper funding for it and paid
Nice.
off the rest. Last time I saw her, she was all excited because apparently in the last 3 years she brought the global temperatures back down to where they were in like the 1930s or something.
Oh, that's really
which
cool.
I guess is good.
Wait, you're telling me in your dimension you literally solved global warming with a flying penguin suit you built?
Yes.
I guess so. Once I got paid, I didn't really pay much attention to what she was doing with it, and I told her not to give me any credit
Why
because,
wouldn't you?
know, I never pay my taxes.
Look
but
at
she
this.
seemed pretty happy with it, and sounds like it's doing its job, so good for her, I guess.
That's really
Oh,
something
Benny.
you should be more proud of.
Yeah.
Next time you're chatting with someone new, maybe lead with that you solved global warming,
I mean,
not
look
the
at this
gopher
thing.
murdering.
I don't know. I think flame shooting
for
horse
mother.
armor
What
is more
that even
interesting
about?
story than penguin armor. Maybe tell that story
don't
before
understand the
telling
history of the
anyone about the
gopher
gopher.
model.
Yeah, I guess you're right. That horse one is pretty cool.
Oh, well.
How did neither of you get how big a deal it is that he solved global warming?
It just sounds kind of boring to say I helped the planet be a bit less hot compared to saying I turned a spaceship into a mech armor in another
Nice.
dimension, you know?
Nice.
Well, how about this one? The time I built an armor for a one-eyed cyborg bounty hunter.
What?
Oh, this sounds like interesting tale. Tell us about that next.
Alright.
But he
show-
literally
show it.
solved.
He literally solved cut. Oh man. Alright, what's next?
This guy had a similar sort of vibe to the horse armor guy, right? Except when he came to me, he already had some mech armor bits to him. Like
Oh.
Champia, he was a cyborg.
I ain't
Oh,
a
yeah.
blatant
Here we go.
cyborg. I just got one little mechanical arm. Ain't even me whole arm.
I mean, not to get into the weeds on this, but a cyborg is just someone who's got some cybernetic enhancements.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I think he kinda is a cyborg.
Though, to be honest, I would say a cyborg is when a person is, well, like, at least 50% machinery. Yeah, like, even if it's just an arm, that would just be an upgrade. And to be cybernetic, it'd have to be, well, like I said, 50%. It had to be half the body, at least,
This
minimum.
thing ain't an enhancement, it's just a replacement. Doesn't do anything special.
Yeah, see?
Which,
Replacement.
as I've said before, I can fix for you. You want it to be a
here we go.
flamethrower, a rocket launcher, a panini maker built into it? I could do all of that.
No, I don't.
Cool.
Why?
You could build a panini maker into me arm?
I mean, that was kind of a joke, but yeah, of course I could. You should have seen what I did for this bounty hunter guy.
That
This is
was
gonna
a
be
pretty
cool.
good segue to get us back on topic, but I want to come back to that
Sorry
panini
about
maker
that.
thing later.
Well, hold on now. You both have
Awesome.
me curious. What is this panini you speak of? Tells you what, after the last
like a
two
hot
stories,
bread
I'll make you
sandwich.
both some. It'll be the best thing you ever did have.
Sounds blatant good to me, but I'm gonna be hungry through these last two stories now.
I would not have expected
well.
you to be this into
Wait, last
paninis,
two?
but I'm definitely
Huh.
gonna lock
Yeah,
that
alright.
information away for later. Anyway, this bounty hunter guy,
Alright.
right? He rocks up into my garage wearing this big old cowboy hat, and he said,
Cool.
"Excuse interruption, but you have used this term before, and I don't know if it means what I think it means. Cowboy is like child boy who is part cow, like were cow?
Wait,
Um.
mate, you got warehouse where you're from too?
Honestly, I don't know. We have werewolves, jaguars, people who transform
Come on.
into frogs and dragons. Would not be totally surprised if we had werewolves as well.
Cool.
Let's now, you know what? I want to get to
Whale
those
cows.
paninis, so
Awesome.
let's just get through with this story.
This
Benny,
probably could
back
be
to
a
you.
really cool
Right,
thing.
so this guy, who, to clarify, ain't a were-cow, comes in with this big
Not a
old hat
were-cow.
covering most of his face, limping along with a cane, and has a cybernetic arm and a leg already.
Cool.
It was actually some impressive work. I asked him if my buddy Chelsea McKellen gave him those parts. She's this back alley surgeon I
You
done
did this?
worked with to help graft mech bits to people's bodies before, but this guy wasn't saying
Oh,
nothing
look, the
about that.
cane.
Or much about
Oh,
anything,
sure.
really.
You
He
put it on
just
his
said
back.
he needed an armor that would interface with his mech bits that he already got. He wanted
Alright.
it to be a roller suit too, one that's got wheels so it can drive around, but you know, can't fly.
Kind of like
Wait,
a.
there are people that actually want that? Why would anyone spend a
So he's kind of like a Go-Go from Big Hero 6.
bunch of money on a mech armor that
Well, at
can't
least
even
moves
fly?
that way.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Some people just don't know what's good for them. Crazy bunch of goons.
Stupid clowns.
Anyway, he gives me
Clowns.
some reference
Well.
images, and I take specs for the parts he's already got, and I make him
Okay.
a suit that matches. Guy wore his big old hat the whole time, was casting a big old shadow over his face, so I never really got the best look at him. Was a real
Yeah, I
private
guess
sort
it
of
just
guy.
makes sense,
All
though.
I ever got out of him was the fact that he was a bounty hunter, and he needed the suit to help protect him against some real dangerous folks
Alright.
he was going after for a payday.
Cool.
Gave the thing the sort of steampunk look he was after, you know, a bit rusty looking, spitting out smog and fumes and stuff like that.
Cool.
Well, that would bug me a lot more if you ain't already solved blatant global warming in your world.
I'm not one to undermine myself, but you might be giving me a bit too much credit for that one. It was mostly Shima's designs that did it. But anyway, I got the suit all finished up for this guy, he took it, paid, then was on his way.
And
He
boom.
did let me first strip out his cyber hand though, made it so that it could shoot bullets out of the finger like a gun. Gave the term
Oh.
finger guns a whole new meaning. But then he was gone, and I never heard of him again after that. Did a bit of digging to see if I could find out something about him, but nothing. But hey, the fact
Oh,
that he never
that's
came
kind of
back
a
to me
shame.
means the suit's working just fine, so I got that going for me. To be fair, could also mean he died. Though hopefully unrelated to
Hopefully
suit.
not dead.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But either way, I got paid,
well.
and I got to build another pretty cool looking suit.
Well, that was really a cool looking suit. Look at that thing. Truly, I'd like something like that. Though I'd probably have some trouble balancing.
Alright,
the
one
wheels.
more to wrap this up, then
But that's
panini
just
time.
me.
I mean, we could start making them while you tell the story.
This would let us get to food faster,
It
which
would
is
get to the food
what I'm
faster.
assuming panini is. You still
Panini's
have
indeed
not
a thing.
clarified for me. Let me talk about the mech armor first. I don't want multitasking to
Alright.
mess up the paninis, which, is, yeah, silly, it is food. Some of the best food, especially
Alright,
the way
let's
I
see
make
what's
it.
next.
Well, I am eager to try, but also eager to hear about laced armor. So,
Ah,
who is
here
this
we go.
person you built for? Was this
Whoa.
guy named Sid, upstanding sort of dude, and not my usual
Okay,
kind of clientele.
that's really
He didn't
cool.
want an armor for bounty hunting, or chasing monsters, or being a superhero, and nothing like that. He was a volcanologist, a dude who studies volcanoes.
Oh, okay.
We have people who do not study volcanoes, but worship volcanoes. But
Okay.
they are not very pleasant. They sometimes throw people into volcanoes as sacrifice. This
Oh,
man,
no.
he did not do this, correct?
No.
Nah, I mean, I guess I don't know for sure. Some people got some pretty weird and unexpected hobbies, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think throwing people in volcanoes
Is
could
a
be
hobby?
considered a hobby. Who
Yeah,
knows?
no.
People got lots of weird ideas about what counts as a hobby. I mean, some
Yeah,
people
whatever.
consider stamp collecting to be a hobby.
That
I've
technically
got a
is,
blatant
though.
stamp collection. No, you don't.
Hmm.
Yeah, alright, now, I don't. I just
Oh.
wanted to contradict you. I really think you and my ma
Alright.
would get along pretty well. Anyway, Sid wanted a mech
Oh, this
armor
is
that would
actually a
let him
really
go
cool
deeper into
mech.
volcanoes
Really
without
great
getting
drawing
hurt,
as well.
and something that would let him move around the terrain easily and tow stuff out of the volcanoes. So I
Cool.
built him this really tanky sort of mech. I made it able to fly, but also with these mechanical tank treads that could latch onto
Definitely
the feet
good
and
for
let him drive
land.
around too. Why would he need that if he could fly and, you
You
know,
never
walk
know.
around on his own? It kind of just fit the aesthetic, you know?
Yeah.
Didn't charge him extra for it or nothing, and he dug it, so it was wins all around. Oh,
Yeah,
and did I
it's a
mention this
win-win.
guy was a cyborg too? But he actually did confirm for me that he got his mech bits put in by my bud Chelsea.
Ah.
Who is this woman again? She's a surgeon who works with cyborg enhancements. She helped me out once with this guy I built bits for. Maybe I'll talk about her some other time, or, you know, Popcross will just
SCP
forget about her and she'll
superheroes?
never come up again.
Huh.
What the... What?
Maybe.
What does that...
Maybe.
What? Don't worry about it. All you need to know is I built this guy a wicked suit, and he's using it to study volcanoes or whatever.
Awesome.
Not throwing people into them, hopefully, probably. And now,
studying,
we can
not
move on to some
worshipping.
sweet paninis. Finally. Then after that, can you please finish the blatant story about the Freddy Fazbear mech armor stuff?
Hell yeah.
I guess I could tell you about part 2 of that sometime soon. You want to
Awesome.
stick around for that too, Vasilia? I could probably get you caught up pretty quick.
Nice.
Fazbear. Wait, does this mean same thing in your world? Like Bear Dragon of Fazbean
Oh.
Kingdom?
Um.
Darren recently brought me the hides of those dragons to make armors for myself. Oh, good. On second
Oh,
thought,
man.
maybe I can't handle any more ridiculous multiverse stuff.
So, in one world, it's a video game series. In another, it's mechs. And in one more, it's dragons. Holy awesomeness.
To die. Yeah, fair enough. Well, on that
Alright,
note,
fine.
that wraps up today's Multiverse Tales, everybody. Thanks for watching, and feel free to get mad in the comments about the fact that in the April
Alright.
Fool's Day video, the channel name ain't gonna be changing to Benny Shop Studios, like
Ah.
obviously everybody wanted. But it is gonna be a pretty weird video all the same.
Yeah, alright.
Who are you talking to, Benjamin? You're looking off into nowhere.
Well, I'm glad someone else recognizes how weird this thing is he does.
You guys are
He does
just
his
jealous
own
that I'm
thing.
the only one who can break the fourth wall. Let's take a look at the mech armor already, shall we?
And awesome. Now this would be a mech I'd want to be in. Oh, we got another ad in just a couple seconds. See you in a moment, folks. Clip, and we're back.
I put off doing a mech armor redraw for a really long time, but I'm glad
This
I
was
finally did
really
it. I mean, the
cool.
art did take a little bit longer than a regular redraw, but I'd say it was definitely worth it.
Definitely.
Thank you so much to
Completely
everybody
worth it.
who submitted. It was really cool going through the vehicle submissions because different kinds of people were standing out
Different,
this time.
yeah.
I'm glad I tried a different theme than the usual superheroes and monsters kind of stuff. And of course,
Plus,
very
it
special
wasn't
thank you to
just
the people
a
who were
straight
selected for
vehicle.
this episode. Emerald Dream Studios, Ved Bathina,
Cool.
Real Rocky Solid,
Awesome.
Harry Cope Pryor,
Nice.
and Alulu774. And if you're
Neat.
new to the channel and you
Definitely
enjoyed
a
this, I
favorite.
recommend going back to last month's community redraw episode, which was taking subscriber-submitted monsters and turning them into fantasy armors. But
maybe
now,
I'll
of course,
check
I
that
have
out
to
my
give
own
you the
time.
community redraw prompt for next month. And, you know, for this one, we are going back to superhero
Alright.
kind of stuff, but there's a good reason for it. Just after the next community redraw
Whoa.
comes out, Doctor Strange and the Big Spooky Multiverse is going to go to theaters, so I
Okay.
figured we should do something that leaned into that. So for this month's community redraw, what I want you to do is take an existing Marvel
Marvel
character
character.
and redesign them into a different universe, whether into a
Oh,
different
okay.
pop culture franchise or into a different genre or anything like that. You have to draw 2 different poses of the character's full body and 1 close-up of their head.
Alright, well, that
Deadline's
could
on
be kinda
screen and you
cool.
can submit to Discord or email, both linked in the description. Very
And with that, you know, Horn.
excited to see what you all submit, partially because I'm super hyped for that
Well,
movie to
let's
come
just
out.
actually wait
But
a bit.
besides that, that's all for today, except of course we're ending this video on some kind of positive or uplifting note, and the thought I want to
Yeah.
leave people with today
And you know what? Let's actually hear a message. I keep trying to want to end this, but the message Let's
is
do
that
this.
when your thoughts overwhelm you, remind them who's in charge.
Yeah.
That one's a little bit spicier than usual, but I
I
read
like it. Well, anyway, that's what we're going to leave off in today's video. So, I want you to remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Down in the description will be a link to the original video. So, remember to support on the original on Kratos and all he does, and I'll see all of you folks next time. So have a good one.